News First, face to face.
Good evening and welcome to Face to Face. I'm Arullsamy. According to the Constitution, we are just about 6 months away from the presidential election, which means we will, in less than half a year, have another president. Now, the contenders are, of course, lining up, and beyond the presidential election, we will look forward to a general election and maybe even more elections. So, with elections comes campaign promises, and the campaigns are now gearing up, getting into full swing. The political parties are making various pronouncements, and tonight we will be discussing some of those campaign promises and how realistic they are and should be. To discuss all this tonight, we have with us guests from two political parties. On my immediate right, I have Mr. Arullsamy, Vice President of the Ceylon Workers' Congress. On the other side of him, we have Mr. Nadisha De Silva, Central Committee Member of the United Republic Front. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, Bharat, let me start with you. We had quite a contentious issue over the last couple of years, where the plantation community, the estate workers, were asking for an increment in their daily wage, and the number which was spoken about was 1,700 rupees per day. Now, on the 1st of May, His Excellency the President went to a rally in the plantation areas and announced that that would become a reality. And there was also some gazette on that matter as well. However, within a very short period of time, there was some confusion thrown into this matter, around this matter, because the Planters Association came out and said that the matter had not been finalized and it was still under some form of discussion. So I'd like you to clear the air, tell us where the process is. Has it been finalized, or is there still a little way to go?
Thank you, Mr. Naresh, for having us here today. And also, when it comes to this program, I just wanted to refer Frank Sonnenberg's quote: "If it is important enough to make a promise, it should be important enough to keep it." So we made a promise to our people, especially the plantation sector workers. We will make sure their daily wage will be increased. So as a major party who is in alliance with the government, it is our responsibility to ensure that. So on 1st of May, on the invitation of our party heads, Honorable Minister Jeevan Thondaman and our party President Senthil Thondaman and our party Chairman MP Ramesh, Honorable His Excellency the President in our CWC May Day rally announced that he had through the Labour Ministry he had issued a gazette notification stating that 1,350 as a basic wage, 350 as an allowance, so that a worker who goes to work to the plantation sector is ensured with 1,700 wage, and also an increase of 80 rupees, up to 80 rupees for the overkilo rate. So this is a remarkable event for us, because when it comes to an executive president of this country come and make an announcement, because as I told you, we are not just giving promises, we also working on delivering the promises. So that yes, there
That's
are
good
some.
to hear.
Yeah. There are some resistance from many stakeholders, but also it is not a surprise that Planters Association had told that they are not in a position to pay. They are like, as I just wanted to refer back, we had two discussions, that is in last month on wages board was summoned on the context of our wages board ordinance, and on 10th and on 24th. But unfortunately, the representative who represent the employers did not participate in the discussion. So unfortunately, then we were compelled, according to the statute, we were compelled to issue the gazette notification. Okay, this is what we have decided. And also the Labour Commissioner in the Gazette has given a time frame before the 15th of this month. Anyone who wanted to make an objection to this Gazette notification, they can submit their objection. Right. What we are looking at, Mr. Naresh, like, it is very clear when it comes to the plantation sector. Every day the plantation sector workers has to struggle to get their wage hike. Not only today, more than decades, it has been a practice that they have to struggle. Either they should go for a protest, trade union action, or mass rally to gain this wage hike. As we are well aware, during the pandemic time and during the crisis, this tea industry, through our workers, I don't take credit only with our workers, with the support of all stakeholders, but major contribution was given by our workers to establish and stabilize the country's economy. Like, even though all the industry was shut down or hibernated due to the pandemic or this economic crisis, this is the only industry was moving forward. So we have all the right, it is a fundamental right to ask for a wage hike and also a decent wage for a living. And also one more thing, we didn't ask a fancy figure, Mr. Naresh. We always also studied, we got expert advices, research reports. Based on that, we made a request of a 1,700 wage hike. So I shall be thankful for our party leadership and also His Excellency the President, so making this promise as a reality. So we are sure that we can deliver this to our people as well.
And hopefully within the next few days or weeks, this will become
definitely
finalized.
It has been, it is an executive decree, and also it has been, I don't think now, for an example, RPCs may object, they may refer the Supreme Court case, they may say that is the affordability is not there, so they may come up with a lot of argument. If they think this industry should move forward, and always they claim that there is no workforce, there's a decline in the workers in the estates. It all depends on how you market the thing. So if your industry is good enough to come and work, so obviously a worker will come and work. So why leaving, when it comes to this tea industry, when you open the door, you have work. But despite the fact that having that kind of a comfort zone, why are people migrating to other districts or other countries?
Right.
The main reason is it should be attractive, and it should be a kind of a way which incorporate the modern trend.
Right. So we'll actually get to that point of migration as well.
Yes.
And let me address the next question to Nadisha. Nadisha, now your party, the United Republic Front, URF, it's a relatively new outfit, and you are looking at the public's call for a system change and bringing about change. Now, what is now a lot of people are watching your party to see what strategies that you take up, whether you all would ally with one of the major parties and so on. And whenever a representative of your party comes on our programs, we do ask this because it's the interest of the public.
Yeah.
So could you clarify what position your party is at the moment?
The party's idea about the current situation. Before all, I have to say that the first thing, now we know our party's leader is partly Champika Ranawaka. So he is the major character in the party, and right now we are ahead of a presidential election, so we can see few names.
That's right.
Okay, we can see few names. We have Arullsamy Disanayaka, we have Ranil Wickramasinghe, and we have Sajith Premadasa. Out of all these three, now we can see that Sajith Premadasa and Arullsamy Disanayaka already have said that they are going to contest for the presidential election. Now, still we don't know what Ranil Wickramasinghe is to say. So, in different situations, we've been asked whether our leader, Partly Champika Ranawaka, is also going to contest or not in this presidential election. So, because you are asking this question, we know that people are thinking that what URF is actually waiting for. So, in lot of places that I have also said that Partly Champika Ranawaka in the presidential election, still we believe that he is also a capable candidate.
So he remains a possible candidate.
He remains a possible candidate. Okay, he remains a possible candidate. So that time again asking, like, so we are seeing different people contesting. So we are looking at some attributes of these people, whether actually as a country, as a nation, as citizens, that we should look for the best option right now.
Right.
The country is in a problem. Country actually is in a problem. We are in a political crisis, we are in an economical crisis, we are in a, like in the society is in a crisis. We are in problems. The country is in problems. You might see that the country is now in a kind of a better position than 2022. That's the image that we are seeing right now. So we all know that in the next year we are going to start paying the installments again. So whatever the next government who's going to come, they have to face all these circumstances. So that will be not an easy task for the next government or the next president.
Absolutely.
So the country itself, it needs a leader who's capable of solving problems. As you have now, we know that today's topic is campaign promises.
The biggest promise, of course, is to turn around the economy and bring the country back to normal. So that problem has to be solved, not with mere promises. Now the country has suffered. Country has come through lots of years. We have listened to lots of promises. We have seen people giving promises. We have seen these promises being fulfilled, and we have seen they've been broken, and also some of them are incomplete. So right now we need not only the promises, we need solutions, and we need to see a person, a leader or a team, whatever. We need how to get these solutions out. So your party is also considering an alliance with any other major party leader or major party which looks like they could come with these solutions. Would that sum up what you're saying?
I understand. Okay. See, everybody is thinking that they can give. Everybody is giving promises, but we should look for a person who can give the solutions. Now, I don't see much of these people who are in the scenery are capable of giving the solutions that Sri Lanka exactly needs. Because I will tell you one thing, the country needs a proper change The country needs a change. Now we went through this Arullsamy in 2022. People were asking for a change. Actually, what people is asking, now we say it's a system change. The system change in the sense like actually they are looking for a change in this political culture as well. We have seen this political culture. It doesn't mean that you're moving from right wing to the left wing. It's not what the people are asking. People want to see that this political culture being changed. So for that, we need a person who's fresh, who's not like, you know, this father to son politics. Okay, I mean, it's like a, I mean, these things has to be changed. We need to have a person who has come from the roots of the country to the top position.
So more merit-based system.
Merit-based. And when it's come to our party, but we believe in meritocracy. So within our party, we believe in meritocracy, and we believe that a meritocracy should be applied in the country as well when it's up to selecting a leader or a party, not merely based on the promises, but you should see the system, how this person or the party is going to do this. We should see the way that they are going to do that.
Right. So I'm going to address this question to both of you, but first to you, Nadisha.
Okay.
Let us assume that your party leader, Patali Champikaran, that he does contest, but that he fails to win and somebody else wins. And at that point, then we would have general elections and there would then be a party, a so-called ruling party. I don't like the word rule. We have had too many bad rulers, but a party in office. And at that point, if that party in office were to invite parties such as yourself and your leader, who has a wealth of experience, to join in the cabinet, would you consider that?
See, it's too early to answer to that question, it seems. Okay, still we are in a position, like as I told you, that now still we have 6 months for the presidential election. Okay, and also there are only 2 people who have been told that they are going to contest. Still Ranil Wickremesinghe himself has not said that he is going to contest. Still there is a chance that he and his camp might be looking for a common candidate to represent in the presidential election. So we don't know whether who's going to be that person. What I am saying here is our party leader Patali Champikaranawaka is more than capable of doing the job. Okay, so if he's been getting a chance in that camp, we don't know what camp. I mean, you see, Niresh, the political landscape and the dynamics of this country changes in hours these days.
Absolutely.
What you see in the morning, like take 6 o'clock, like you will see the newspapers and all these things will change in 7 o'clock news. That much quickly the dynamics of the country's politics has getting changed these days. So what you said is beyond the beyond the general election as well. So
however, it is the aspiration of the people that whoever comes into office should build a team and which is capable of turning around this country, because it cannot be a one-man show.
Yeah, it cannot be a one-man show. And the other hand, and the other, from the other side, that I will tell one of these. Now you are saying that one who comes to the government, like the governing party, if the party or the government invites Patali Champikaranawaka with a cabinet ministry or whatever to get the job done, what is needed at that point. If he contests and fails, or if he's in the opposition at that time or whatever. So Patali Champikaranawaka, if you take his history, don't look for the history, just look at what he's been doing these days. He's in the opposition. But if you take the Ways and Means Committee, so he is doing it for the country. He is bringing solutions. Sometimes I've seen people are asking, why is this person doing this? Like it's like it doesn't benefit him. Like maybe the president is making use of what he's doing. But still, I have clearly seen, I am seeing it. Like whatever is good for the country, I am sure that he will accept at that point. We don't know that invitation is for good or bad in future, as you said. If that happens, okay, so assuming that if that happens, still, if it is good for the country, I think he will do it. I mean, he will accept or not accept. But anyway, to answer that, it's very too early.
Okay, but on the other hand, 6 months will go by very quickly.
Exactly.
And then beyond that, another 3 or 4 months, and it will be a general election. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
News First, face to face.
මගේ අභිමන්ට මොකක් හරි කරදරයක් වෙලා තිබ්බොත් මාත් බලන්නේ අංකල් අභිමන්ගේ තාත්තා කියලා.
64 මායන් ඔක්කොම දාලා මගේ කොල්ලව අල්ලගෙන ඌව නැත්තටම නැති කළා.
මම දෙන්නේ නෑ. යන්න මට දෙන්නේ නෑ ලක්කුනෝනේ. මට ජමාවෙන්න.
දැක්කනේ ආන්ටි. මුංග හොරතල් කළා මුංගෙන් ඇත්ත ගන්න බෑ. අංශේ උඩ ගියත් බිම ගියත් මට කමන්නේ නෑ. හැබැයි අරුගේ කාමරේට ගිහිල්ලා තිබ්බොත් මම තම්සේවයි ඌවයි යවන්නේ කොහෙටද කියලා මම තීරණය කරන්නම්. තම්සේට මම ආයි කියන්න තියන්නේ හරි.
නීල පබලු අද රාත්‍රී 9ට සිරස ටෙලිතිරයෙන්.
People shouldn't be afraid of their government. Instead, governments should be afraid of their people.
NPP has is by design, and it's not only in Sri Lanka, even across out of Sri Lanka as well.
I had to go to my cabinet minister secretary even to get a small thing passed.
That's a different question. The authorities are there. Why aren't you going in?
The integrity was compromised by the bribery commission.
The chairman of the party does not attend when you all sign a MOU with GLP and Nalagodeva, which is quite important.
Who was trying to safeguard the robbers of central bank.
We know in Sri Lanka there are issues.
Inquiry was going on.
People wanted Gotabaya, right? People elected him.
But what we can see is that it has certainly stalled. There is no public record of what these cases were.
In particular, the things are very severe when President is also the Minister of Finance.
I will give you a post how it came about. It was not argued in the parliament. It was not even put on the cabinet. It was forced down the throat of the people of this country without an election.
Because when we take a loan or when any loan is being taken, we automatically go into evaluation point.
The sex absence of any knowledge with regard to sexual education. Now, those two are key pillars.
Transparent ways of showing how money is spent, we are doomed.
Even when the LTT was in operation, when there was actually a civil terrorism issue going on in the country, we didn't have these laws. Then the question is, why do we need these laws?
So this has brought down the total GDP by about 25% in dollar terms, which was around 90 billion. Now it's around hovering around 70 billion.
There are particular focus areas that I think evolve based on the binational commission.
So like the self-esteem is really, really low. Like they don't believe anymore, okay, I can do something about that. So anymore there's no any decision making about that, and very passive.
With regards to state land. So I think this will carry huge repercussions for the future.
News First, face to face.
Welcome back to Face to Face. We are in conversation with Bharat Arullsamy of the CWC and Nadisha De Silva of the URF. Now, Bharat, let me ask you the same question that I put to Nadisha. What would be the CWC's position if a future government, a party which would be in office, would invite the CWC to join and support that government? Let us assume for the moment that we don't know which party would win that election.
Since the independence to date, our community has gone through many issues which others didn't have in their life. So as I was like referring this to in all programs, because people should understand the fact that how much injustice our community went through. So when it came to 1948, we got independence, the country got independence, we became stateless. Then again, we were forcibly repatriated to a country which we came after 5 or 6 generations. We don't know.
That's right.
Then we were victims of communal clashes. Then we had to safeguard ourselves from the internal civil war. We didn't participate in that, and we didn't want to be victim of that. And also we were marginalized by various governments stating that, yeah, you are a sector who are in the industry. So that is what our Minister Jeevan Thondaman, after assuming the cabinet portfolio as a water supply and estate infrastructure cabinet minister, he influenced the government to make a policy to integrate the community into the national mainstream. So on that basis, we are working purely to make our people as a whatever the rights and welfare enjoyed by our fellow citizen, it should be applicable for us also. So that is what we are working on, the land rights matter. So what thanks to His Excellency President, once again he introduced this Urumaya program, where whoever toiled in that land is getting an ownership. So this is a remarkable event where most of the countries in international sphere had failed, but our country is succeeding. Because when you give an ownership to whatever they have, then they will, further flourish that. So similarly, we are giving land rights for our people. So we are hoping by end of May, we are kickstarting the program under the Saumyam Bhumi land deed program. And also we are focusing more on integration, on education and health. So more than decades, we were talking a plantation sector health, plantation sector education, and also the infrastructure is same.
Now
so
you want it into the mainstream of the country's system.
Yes, exactly. Yes. When you ask the question of next election and whom do we support, because as you are well aware, the Ceylon Workers Congress makes decision not on populist context. We carefully study which will benefit our community. So from the very inception to today, we have taken decision which will benefit our community, as a result which will benefit the national economy and strengthening the country. So why we supported President Ranil Wickremesinghe? When everyone started talking like policy reforms, economic resurrection, and system change, governance change, this is the only person came forward to take this challenge. So as a citizen of this country, as a responsible party of this country, it is our duty to support that person to make this as a reality. You and I or anyone, Nadisha or anyone, will not have the courage to say, or we will not feel comfortable to say the international arena, we are from a bankrupted country. So though we have,
it's a terrible thing to
say. So we were we were marketed like that for some time. No one can forget that. So anyone can come on stage and say, when I come to this power, when I come to this thing. So I would say when late president, the former president Gotabaya, when he was going to step down, he gave option to everyone, come take forward and do it. But unfortunately, only one person came forward. So that for that courage, for that ability and skill, we Ceylon Workers Congress decided to support President Ranil Wickremesinghe, and through supporting him, we are delivering what others were talking for ages, especially the land rights, the recognition, incorporating our community into the national mainstream, their health sector, education, housing, everything was like on discussion stage, but we are delivering it. In future election, whoever comes up with our policies, we are like now this daily wage is not going to be a what we call a presidential promise. That is for sure. Otherwise, we wouldn't deliver it now. So, more than that, because there are 1.5 million people who represent our community, the Indian origin upcountry Tamil community. So, it is our duty as a larger party represent that community, and also we being Sri Lankans, it is our duty to ensure whoever comes up with a proper working plan for this country and whoever successfully delivered that promises to the country will be backed by CWC.
But Bharat, on the other hand, now you mentioned 1948 up to today. It's been a very long time, and the CWC has continuously made requests, demands, pressurized and so on, but the progress has been slow on the part of the ruling parties. And do you feel the time is now that these promises should be made good?
Yes, like again, when I refer, like only the last 20 years, when 2004, when there is a presidential election, President Mahinda Rajapaksa got elected, saying that he will unite this one country. Then again, 2010, again there is victory of war. Then in 2015, another president came with the good governance, end of corruption. Then again 2019, another president came, no, there is a lot of bond scams, internal security. Then again another president has taken over. So when you look at the pattern, Niresh, our people are on the perspective, it's like impulsive thoughts where, you know, a populist figure, a false populism is a main problem. They think, you know, a community based or a communal based or ethnic based. So this has become a big virus which has ruined our country's growth into this stage. So I would say the change starts within. I should think, and the community should think, and the country should think.
So Nadisha, what's your opinion on that this false populism which has dominated Sri Lankan politics for more than 50 years, has it gone out now with the Aragalaya and so on, or is it still too prevalent? Are the people still gullible?
If I say a direct answer, people still can be manipulated very easily. Actually, we had I think lots of people who are having kind of a political literacy and awareness, they all believed that after the Aragalaya, that this should change up to some extent. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened. Now, right as he said rightfully, like the country, we have gone through different elections, different governments have come and gone, like different presidents we have seen, and we have seen completely different campaigns who came up with different very interesting, very rich looking promises according to our topic.
You are referring to any particular you know, or is it that, every election we see these slogans and brandings?
Actually, he told some of those, like if you we don't need to go back to long way, like no need to go back to even 1990s. We just think about 2010. Why did Mahinda Rajapaksa won? What is the reason behind Mahinda Rajapaksa's victory? Like Sri Lankan people wanted to show their gratitude. Okay, so there were lots of accusations against the Rajapaksas at that time. So, but the Sri Lankan people, they wanted to show the gratitude. That soft part of the people were properly used by the campaign. So they showed the gratitude and elected him again. Then in 2015, now we might have supported different campaigns at like in 2010, 2005, 2015, 19 and all. But still, in the bigger image, if you talk about the bigger image, in 2015 what people wanted actually, they wanted to get rid of Rajapaksas, which dominated the complete political arena, and how the corruption was. People saw that, and they were being accused by lots of illegal things. People wanted to get justice for the deaths of people like Lasantha Amaratunga. They wanted to see the justice for Tajuddin. So those were hot topics. And in the stages, in the political stages, like how many promises were given on these things? They will catch the thieves and all. They have, I mean, nothing happened. Like, people had those expectations. Those expectations, they used to convert them into votes. Whatever the party, whatever the camp, okay? But people didn't see the exact result that they wanted. Then what happened in 2019? The same people who wanted to see the justice in 2015, they got disappointed. And then there was a new campaign came. As he correctly said, the internal security matter after the Easter attacks. So people's emotions were touched. That's how the campaigns worked. It clearly, they were capable of touching the emotions of the people. The fear factor came because of the internal security. So in the same time, the bond scam and all these things, people wanted to see the people who stole will be caught or not. They wanted to see them being dragged to the jail. I mean, we know these are not practically, I mean, when a promise is being given, people should be capable of understanding whether these promises can be practically applied. This is the problem. So in that case also, that is what happened. And how I started was the Aragalaya. After the Aragalaya, whether it has been changed or not. No, it's not. If it has happened, you won't see this wave we saw for the leftist movement, NPP. But actually people are expecting from NPP right now. But people are expecting. They want to catch the thieves. They want to get their stolen money back. They want to see people getting punished. Now that is the vengeance. That is being tested. And they don't...
So you're saying that there is a certain amount of anger in the population.
Yeah. Anger, fear. So those were the factors that they are using to create these promises actually. The promise has been created, no? Okay, they create it, they generate the promise. Actually, they were, I mean, very thoughtfully they were being brought up. And people should be capable of understanding when a promise has been given from a candidate or a party, how this could be practically applied. So what will be the consequences of this if this happens? I'll tell you something else. Now, apart from the last election, giving away government jobs to people is a promise, no? Most of the governments, most of the parties, most of the candidates have promised number of times that we will give 10,000 government jobs for the unemployed graduates. We have heard this enough. But by giving that, in a country like this, which is already have got excess amount of government servants, so the literate, politically literate and aware people, they should understand by giving this job to these people, where the country will go. So we have to, I mean, we have to look at that person who's giving that kind of a promise. I mean, that is a reason that we should think that we should not vote for that exact person. But it is not what has happened throughout the years.
But let me ask Bharat, leading from that, have our people learnt anything? Because now the bankruptcy situation came to a point where life came to a standstill. People died in queues, waiting for 3-4 days a week in just to get a few cans of petrol. Now, after such an experience, are people have they become gullible again 2 years afterwards?
Naresh, now when you just look into the May Day rallies and the promises, the UNP rally was focusing on smart Sri Lanka. Then the SJB like governance oriented. NPP is like as usual, they wanted to be accountability. And other parties had now SLPP like give another chance kind of, right? So why I'm saying this, a politician or a political party can make any promises or policies which can affect many lives. But as I told you, the change which people required in 2022-23, not mere a political change, not this, okay, change the leadership, change the persons, everything will change. No. They asked for a system change which refers a change in governance, a change in implementation. A governance change can be achieved in two ways: when you amend laws or bring a new constitution or ensure the separation of powers or uphold the rule of law or create policies which can integrate the communities. Now, if you look at most of the young voters in Sri Lanka or younger generation, if you ask randomly a person, like when I go to my village and if I ask what is your plan, some or other I have to pass advanced level and migrate. This is what the younger generation are very much, so their dream is to some or other get out of this country. So are we on the correct track? That is one of the biggest question. So more than promises, Naresh, what I would suggest, the people must think the person who they are going to vote, whether he or she is capable enough to deliver what they have promised. One, have they done something to do that? So this doesn't mean, okay, they say whatever said and done, that Mantra Tuma was with us for some time, or he whatever said and done traditionally they are there, or whatever said and done now, past is past, let him give another chance. Everything is there, but whether they have contributed for individual uprising or the community uprising, or he or she whether he had contributed to the national uprising. So this is one of the important element every single citizen of this country should look at. So this doesn't mean you, as he correctly pointed out, a vengeance or a hatred should build within. So this should echo everywhere, and this should cultivate. Now see, if they wanted to bring anyone to the justice, there is a established justice system. You can lodge a complaint and make them liable for whatever the wrong they have done. So this doesn't mean you should come into power and do the thing. Already the system is established. So only thing is implementation. So that is what now, as I told you, according to our constitution, as I referred last time also, accountability part is in our constitution, but it is not mandatory, 27 and 29. So what we want as a younger generation of this country is to have this accountability in black and white as a supreme law of this country, so that everything will come to a real materialized way. Otherwise, this, as I told you, the false popularism will create more and more misconception among the people, and this will again grow hatred among the communities, and this community hatred, as he correctly mentioned, will be harnessed with his emotions. When you make a decision on emotional ground, then that decision will be wrong.
Well, we certainly hope that the communal card will not be played once again, and that any politician who does dare to do so will be sent packing. And I'm afraid we are almost out of time, so I'm going to ask my final question from Nadisha. Now, in the context of, I believe, 7 million people living below the poverty line, most of whom have fallen below that poverty line in the last 2 years. In that context, would it be realistic to say that most of these politicians' promises would be falling on disbelieving ears? Would the people who are struggling to survive actually believe or not believe such promises?
When you don't have any kind of a hope, you believe in whatever you see. Majority of these people now, as you said, 7 million people yearly are below the poverty line. So you are asking whether these people will accept those promises of any of these candidates or parties. See, but what can they do actually? Do they have a solution in their hand? They don't. They have to rely on these politicians again and again. So that is why, that is the danger of it. Some of these people, some of these candidates, or some of these majority of the politicians who are asking for power, I don't think that they are capable of solving their issues. They are capable of taking their lives little bit up. This won't happen. But still, as you don't have anything to do, you just have to depend on any of these people who are saying that I will give this and that. So this is the tragedy of this. The people's, like, they are helpless. That helplessness is being used again. That's the thing, like, when you are helpless, that position of these people also can be manipulated into votes. They can be converted into votes. So that's what you are seeing right now. Now we have seen some parties gaining their popularity using this methodology. Don't you see? So that's what it is happening now. People, again, as I said, now when you are suffering, you just think personally, if you are suffering, you have that anger against the people who have taken this out of, they taken the comfort out from you. So that anger is one factor. And also the vengeance, like, you need to punish these people who have taken our things, who have taken our comfort zone, who have stolen our comfort zone. So that vengeance is there. So when somebody is coming and saying that, okay, we will punish these people who have taken this, we will, and again, that is enough actually. And then as a bonus they will say, we will give you that and this as well. That will happen.
Right. And on that note, I'm afraid we must close the show because that's all the time we have tonight. My thanks to Bharat Arullsamy, Vice President of the CWC. Thank you very much for being with us. And Mr. Nadisha De Silva, Central Committee Member of the United Republic Front. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all out there who are watching us. Thank you very much. Good night.